Yo. Okay, today we're gonna look at the final Duffy poem, okay, which is gonna be Valentine. We're gonna talk about the onion poem. Alright, so let's begin. Here we go. Yeah, funny enough, it's Valentine's Day soon, so it's kind of a coincidence. Alright, so let's get into it. It's kind of a short poem. Alright, so we should get this done quick. Okay, so the poem begins, not a red rose or a satin heart. Now, obviously, red rose. Okay, a red rose, okay, is a classic gift given by people who are in love on Valentine's Day, and a satin heart is sort of the same kind of thing. Okay, so the point is, we begin the poem starting off, okay, because it's not these things, starting off with the idea that the speaker has a different take on love, has a different take on romance, on what it should be like. And we're gonna see it's very clear, yeah, with this whole onion thing. Okay, so there's your first kind of note, the first idea, which is that the speaker looks at love, looks at romance in a different way than what you could call as the traditional way of looking at love and romance. Okay, so what is the speaker's way of looking at love and romance? Well, she starts off by talking about vegetables. All right. So what is this whole thing about? I give you an onion. Why an onion? Okay. The point, obviously there's many points here, but the point is that in the speaker's mind, okay, the speaker is talking about love and romance in a what you could say non-traditional way. Okay, different than tradition. So she's saying that I give you an onion. Now the onion here is not obviously, or it could be literal gift, yeah, giving the person an actual onion, but it makes more sense if it's like a metaphor. It's a metaphor. And the point is that the speaker recognizes, okay, that love, okay, is not the way that it's made out to be in terms of the sort of traditional stories, like Disney stories and all that. What she's saying is that love is more like, and then she uses this thing here, onion, which is strange. But if we look at it, the point is that love has different concepts which you can attach, okay, to the onion, okay. So obviously the first thing is that onions make you cry, okay? And therefore, the point being made is that love is not just all sweet and sort of, um, love is not just all sweet and like, happy, that kind of thing. But to the speaker, love is something which uh, has a sad side to it as well. Okay, and then beyond that, um, if you think about the different kind of things she could have said that I give to you, even if she's talking about like plants or she's talking about, say, different kinds of food, she could have chosen many different kinds of food which were more, excuse me, which were more sort of advanced, fancy, expensive, complicated. But she chooses something which is quite simple and also something which, in a sense, people don't like yet. So a lot of people don't even like onions yet, and they would walk past it if it's on the ground yet. They won't even pick it up, get their hands dirty. So you can see what she's saying, okay, is that her view of love itself is that um it's something which is maybe available to you, okay, but it's something which if you try to get it, if you want to get it, it's gonna come with sort of downsides as well, okay? Like you are going to experience sadness, which is the crying. It's gonna take a while to sort of get to the heart of it, which is like the onion having layers, okay? And also it's going to be something which doesn't actually look uh it's not as nice as it might seem. Okay, with like an onion, yeah, it's not like exactly something pretty. It's not as nice as it might seem. And also it's not something that you can really it's not something that you can win or you can get to the sort of best form of with money. In other words, no matter an onion is a cheap thing, yeah, you can grow it in your garden, yeah, in a pot. So there's only so much money you can spend, but until the quality, the onion, the vegetable, whatever, won't change it that much. Yeah, onion's an onion, yeah. So the point is that love can't be bought, or sort of high quality love cannot be bought yet. That's the point. Okay, anyway, that what she's saying, if I summarize it for you, what she's saying basically is that love is not what it seems to be in terms of the classic idea of it. And also what she's saying is that love has other sides, which I just laid out, yeah. Negative sides, sides which require work, all that kind of stuff. So she's coming at this idea of love, okay, from the angle of the people who say things like love needs to be worked at, you know, the bad parts of love are part of it, you can't get rid of it. She's coming at it from that angle, yeah. Whether that's true or not, that's a different discussion. But let's try and get the poem done and maybe we'll do some philosophical stuff after. Okay. So it's a moon wrapped in brown paper. Again, moon being sort of onion wrapped in brown paper, something simple, something which is not um it's not it's not something which what's the word? It's not something which is like magical, simple, down to earth, plain. It's way less way less shiny than traditional ideas of love, yeah, romance, people falling in love and going on great adventures. She's making it much more mundane, simple, um, uh, cheapening it, if you like, yeah, making it more down to earth. I guess that's the best way to put it. She's making it more down to earth, yeah. Again, fitting in with her idea about how she sees love is different. Yeah, it's not the traditional way; it's this other way. Okay, it promises light like the careful undressing of love. Again, this is sort of like a reference to people when they're coupled, romance, intimacy, that kind of thing. It promises light. Okay. The idea she says here, it promises light. She doesn't say it gives light, which would be like the idea of the moon. The moon itself doesn't produce light, it reflects light, right? So the idea again she's saying is that love itself is not sort of uh, the shiny, amazing thing that it gets made out to be, but instead it's more of something which, again, it's sort of this idea that you get what you put in, that kind of thing. Yeah, she's on that kind of philosophy, which is like love isn't sort of a magical experience, but she's on the other type of philosophy, which is funny because the idea is that she's not traditional, but this idea of love is actually sort of traditional in a sense. This is kind of an old school kind of idea, which is that you just have to deal with the problems. The problems are going to be there. You have to deal with them. It's more about what you put in, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, she's on that kind of path, I guess. Okay, and again, this is just a reference to sort of romance, intimacy, that kind of thing. Okay, okay, here, full stop. Here, full stop. Um, what does this mean? Here, full stop. Okay. Um, here, a reference to the present, reference to her location, many different things. It will blind you with tears like a lover. Um, so again, reference to the idea that love comes with problems, sadness, all that kind of stuff. And then the here with the full stop on it. What does that mean? Um, I'll be honest, I'm not exactly quite sure yet. I'll be honest with you, I'm not exactly quite sure. Here, full stop. Maybe, maybe the idea is that she's now speaking and she wants to be paid attention to, and she's about to say something which she believes is completely true. Okay, here, full stop. Like when you say like listen, full stop, something like that. And then this is the thing that she believes is completely true. So it could give the poem a different dimension, which is that maybe she's just broken up with someone or something like that, yeah? In any case, one of the central themes of the poem, besides the idea of non-traditional love, is the idea of the problems of love, something like that, okay? Sadness of love, something like that, okay? Which is the idea again that it comes with sadness, crying, all that kind of stuff. It will blind you with tears like a lover. Okay, now if you notice, what is the it? What is the it? Okay, the it itself is love. Okay, so she's saying love itself will blind you. Okay, which we know, is largely the case, especially when you have sort of, you could say that, not necessarily, what would you call it? Not necessarily love, but you would call it infatuation. When you're crushing on someone and that first month or something, you crush, you talking, time flies by, You ignore all their you ignore all their bad sides, all the red flags, all that stuff, and you just because you're infatuated with them, man, you feel like this is my soulmate, and so on, so on, so on. Let me give you some game. Let me kick you some game. Um, okay, let me kick you some game, yeah. So do that, enjoy it. All right, enjoy it, do it, and uh, because you're young, it's fun. You should do it, yeah. Do it, enjoy it. You're gonna get your heart broken, but that's okay. That's part of the whole thing, yeah. So have the experience, but then realize, let me kick you some game, that the idea of the soulmate, okay, is cap. Basically, it's not real yet. In terms of the way it's explained. So the idea of the soulmate is that there is only just one person out there for you, and you need to find them, and your whole life, sort of romantic life, depends on them. If you don't find them, then you pretty much lost the game. And if you do find them, you have to do everything you can, including bending your own values, bending your own, you know, uh, put- putting yourself on fire to help to make them happy, all that stuff, in order to keep them. All that's not true yet. The truth is, okay, is that there are multiple people, okay, out there in the world who you could partner up with and have a good relationship with. Okay, so the soulmate idea, especially for I'd say especially for my young, I guess, male students. I think girls probably learn this naturally, okay, because they have many more boys trying to ask them out, and they reject many more just on default. But my young, my young male students, some of you boys fall in love with the first girl you talk to who smiles at you. So listen, she's not your soulmate, all right? There's plenty of soulmates out there that you can um, meet, have a good relationship with. The key thing to focus on is just values. Okay, what does she believe in? What does she stand on? Or what does he believe in? What does he stand on? How does he treat people? And that kind of stuff. Yeah. Anyway, anyway, you're gonna do the thing anyway. So okay, go ahead, have your romantic, uh, Disney story. Okay, get your heart broken, and then after that, just peep the game. Yeah, that I just gave out. Okay. Anyway, blind you with tears. Okay, like a lover. Yeah. So she's saying love itself will blind you. Yes, and it will make you cry. Yeah, and that people in love will make each other cry. Okay, that's what she's saying. Yeah, it's double. It's double. Love plus the lover will make you cry. It will blind you. Play games, all that stuff. All right. Okay. So, she goes on to say then it will make your reflection a wobbling photo of grief. Again, saying again, which is sort of leaning to the idea that this is a sort of heartbreak poem. And she's had her heart broken, and her relationship has just ended, something like that. Um, and so, uh, she's saying something here like a wobbling photo of grief, meaning she's been crying, that kind of thing. Yeah, she's holding a photo and it's shaking because she's crying and all that stuff. Okay, I am trying to be truthful. Full stop. Okay, brings up a couple questions. Why is she saying this? Does that mean that she was lying in the past? Maybe she's saying the idea is that when people fall in love, a lot of the time they sort of might lie to each other or not be exactly truthful in order to keep the relationship going, something like that. Um, she's showing her sincerity, okay, in terms of what she's talking about. Um, as a speaker, saying that this is the truth of love, okay, as she understands it, all those kind of things. Okay, not a cute card or a kissogram. Again, we go back to the idea of non-traditional. So cute card, it's like what you give someone at Valentine. Kissogram, like this is an old thing of like sending uh some like a kiss by mail side thing. I think there's another version of it which is a bit strange, which is that you pay someone to kiss your girlfriend or something. You pay them and they go, here's a message from, what I'm saying, the homie, and then here's a kiss. I don't know yet, but anyway, the point is she's saying again it's not traditional. Okay, repetition of what she said before. Okay, I give you an onion. We talked about that before. So again, reinforcing the idea of her thing, her love being sort of different. Okay, it's fierce kiss. It will stay on your lips. Again, it's a metaphor here, taking something which is normally quite like romantic, intimate, classical in terms of love, and then turning it into a sort of metaphor for this. And the idea is like when you eat something like an onion, it has a very strong uh, smell, which messes up your breath, makes it smell nasty. So in a way, she's saying, and also it's like a very strong taste. You can't eat the whole thing. It's like too much. You need to eat it with something else. It's too much to handle. Yeah, it messes up your what do you call it, taste buds and stuff. Again, she's saying the whole idea is that love itself, it's not so sweet. Yeah, like it messes up your breath and that kind of stuff. Yeah, it messes up. It will impact you in negative ways. Yeah. So again, it's quite negative. It's quite a negative take, I guess, on love. Yeah, it's quite negative. Okay, possessive and faithful. Uh, again, uh, there's two layers to this. Possessive in the relationship sense, you're mine, or I'm yours, that kind of idea. And then also possessive in that love, in a sense, possesses a person, like, a ghost possesses someone. Love possesses a person in that it takes over their mind. You've probably seen this with some of your friends and that when they fall in love and then they change it. It's like, what happened to bro? Why is he not talking to us anymore? It's like that, yeah. So it possesses a person, takes over how they think, all that kind of stuff. So it's double meaning. Okay, okay. Faithful, again, talking about relationship, being true to the person, all that kind of stuff. As we are, for as long as we are. Okay, for as long as we are. Uh, so in this part, what you could say maybe is that she's talking to someone who she's in a relationship with. Okay, maybe the relationship isn't going so great, but she still is sort of claiming that person, that they belong to her in a sense, as in a relationship. And then she's saying that she's sort of dedicated to them as long as we are, meaning as long as she lives, she wants to be with that person, that kind of idea. Okay. Okay, another take on this, another thing, which is that love itself is a very old idea. Okay. Old as in, I mean, the first human beings were obviously experiencing it. So, in a sense, you could say that love itself is as old as humanity, maybe even older yet. I don't know if animals fall in love yet, but the point is that love itself is an ancient thing, and so it's with us, and it will be with us for as long as we exist. Yeah, that's maybe another idea. Okay, take it. This is sort of like the here, full stop, sort of similar kind of thing. Again, it's quite forceful. It's quite forceful, and yeah, again, it's either like forcing the gift or saying take my love or take this gift, take my version of love, that kind of thing. It's quite forceful. Um, yeah. Okay. His platinum lips shrank to a wedding ring. Okay, platinum lips of what? Platinum lips of what? Um, what are platinum lips? Platinum lips. It's a beat company. Duffy was making platinum lips. Bacterial cultures. Okay, I don't know. All right. Anyway, the point is, whatever the platinum loops are. Okay, I'll be honest, I don't know what platinum loops are. It's probably the thing you need to remember with some of these poems. Okay, is they were written quite a while ago, so some of the references are like old. Yeah, we won't know what they are. But the point is that she's saying now she's bringing up the idea of marriage, the idea of what being married. Also, just in terms of platinum, it's a very strong metal. It's a very expensive metal. Okay, so she's saying that now she wants to marry the person she is talking to. Okay, if they accept. Good, she's got some consent here, yeah. Yeah, don't just be saying to people, take it. Consent is important, yeah. All right, anyway, good. So she's saying now she's serious. Okay, she wants to marry the person if they want to marry her. And then, but she follows it up. You would think this would be a happy ending, yeah. You think this story would end in a sort of happy, positive way. But she ends here, she says, lethal, full stop. Again, going back to the idea that she's not gonna leave love alone in terms of it being, she's not gonna say anything positive about it without saying something like negative about it as well. Does that make sense? So she's saying that, okay, I want to marry you or whatever, and I'm gonna be in love with you, but I recognize that this love will probably kill me in some way, and it might kill you too in some way. Okay, it might be the death of us, as people say, and that might be referencing the idea that when people fall in love, the pain that comes with the sadness of it can be overwhelming, especially if they fall into the like I said before, soulmate. This is the only person I can ever be with. She's perfect. If she leaves me, my life's over. Stop tripping, young homie. Stop tripping. So if you're there in that idea when they get their heart broken, it's like terrible. Yeah, it's like that. Yeah, we've all been there, you know what I'm saying? We've all been there. Sorry. Uh, you get over it. All right. Anyway, its scent will cling to your fingers, cling to your knife. Again, this sort of, excuse me. The reference here, obviously, again, is sort of romantic, intimate. But it's coupled with what she said before, with the onion thing. Um, and it's like a double meaning. It's double meaning, and the um again taking something which might be classically, let me say, romantic in a positive kind of way, now taking it to sort of be represented also negatively, like onion. Yeah, who wants onion on their fingers? Yeah, it's like uh you can't, you know, you have to wash your hands, all that stuff. Yeah, because and then uh on the knife idea, obviously, you know, if you're old enough to understand what that means, I don't need to break it down yet. But the point also is with the onion idea, okay, is that again it has to be like washed, and it's gonna it's gonna it's gonna like tarnish it in some way, yeah. It's gonna mess it up in some way. Again, the idea being that we'll go back to the start. The idea is that love is not just positive, but to her, in a sense, you could say that she might think love is like mostly negative, because I don't know if she said anything positive about it, to be honest with you. Yeah, maybe the fierce kiss. Maybe this is the only thing. Maybe this. But in a sense, you could say the speaker most has a mostly negative view of love, and but yet she still is wanting to have it, engage in it, and to engage and have a like serious sort of relationship. Yeah, with the marriage idea. Okay, so anyway, that's the poem. That's the poem. Key themes obviously is uh, you could say the sadness of love or problems of love or non-traditional love. All those would be good. Um, Another one would be problems of a relationship, and you could that would be reflective of the Mrs. Midas poem. Okay, now in terms of the quotes, not a red rose, that's good. Give you an onion, that's two. Blind you with tears, that's three. Trying to be truthful, four. Fierce kiss, stay on your lips, five. Uh, Lethal, six. There you go. Okay, so that's the poem broken down. And if you have any questions, yeah, if you have any questions, just put them below. Uh, if you have any questions, if you got your heart broken, know what I'm saying, don't worry, you'll be all right, man. Listen, peep the game, man. You'll be all right. All right.